Hey everyone, Ryan here with the Indie Music Academy. As you hopefully know, I help artists with a lot of Spotify playlist promotion campaigns, and it's not very often that I get data this clean, and I want to show you this. So an artist came to me who has never done promotion before, and they actually haven't gotten very many streams before this campaign. And what we did was a regular influencer marketing Spotify playlist promotion campaign, the way that I usually do it. If you want to see the details on my website, I'll link that in the description below. And this campaign ended up getting him 55,000 streams. And that's from 30,000 listeners. And the thing that I thought was really interesting, like I mentioned earlier, usually I don't get data this clean, right? There's not really a clear before and after because sometimes an artist has been doing a lot of organic content, or maybe they're running Facebook ads, or maybe they have done other playlisting services on the internet. And this is a stark example of a before and after. Let me zoom in actually really quick. I'll click 28 days. Actually, I'll need to create a custom date range here. So let's do somewhere around there. Okay, so here's before the playlisting campaign with us. He's getting about 1 stream per day, sometimes more. And then the playlisting campaign starts. And if you don't know how playlisting works, it's a form of influencer marketing. And what you do, or what we do for our clients, is we get your song placed in a high traffic playlist. What that means is your song's getting placed in a traffic stream. So the playlist already has traffic, it already has an audience, and you are benefiting from that audience. You're borrowing it for a certain amount of time. It's kind of like a billboard on the side of a highway, right? Everyone who's driving down that highway is going to see that billboard as long as it's there, and you rent the time on that billboard. That's really similar to how playlisting works. And so there's 3 main sections of this data graph that I want to show you: before, during the campaign, and after the campaign, which what we can call the new normal. So this is a great opportunity to just show you what to look for in a successful playlisting campaign. Also the different sources of streams that I like to filter between to make sure that we're not just getting a temporary boost in our monthly listeners, but we're actually doing good marketing. And so I'm going to cover all of that in this video. But the first thing I want to show you is after. He's basically getting anywhere from 50, it was a little higher at the beginning, but 50 to 60 listeners every day, up from 0, right? And in streams, it's even higher, right? If we look at the streams, it's on average anywhere from 70 to 90 streams every day after the campaign. So again, I'm going to say this term new normal because we don't actually want to claim the streams that come from the playlist influencer, right? What that would be is like running a Facebook ad and then pretending that you own Facebook, right? Running the ad is not your traffic, but what you're doing is you are benefiting from the attention. And playlisting is the same way, right? So I don't want you to make the mistake, and I don't want any of my clients to make the mistake of thinking, oh wow, like this campaign is so successful because now I have 2,000 streams every single day, and that's going to last forever. But the truth really is that traffic belongs to someone else, and that influence is temporarily directed at your song for a period of time. I think the Facebook ad example is a great one. If you've ever run Facebook ads before, you know you can toggle the ad on and off. When the ad is in the on position, you're paying $10 a day or $20 a day to run that ad for Mark Zuckerberg to send the traffic to your website or to your whatever it is, your mailing list growth form. And you can't pretend that if you toggle the ad in the off position and you're no longer spending, you can't pretend that you're still going to get that same traffic as if the ad was on. And so that's why the beginning and the end of the campaign are just so important to realize that, yes, this was me benefiting from a campaign that has a beginning and the end. Now let's see what the lasting benefits are. So this is where I dive into the source of streams because, and I'll stay in this date range because this is perfect, beginning, middle, end. So first, what I'll do is I'll just filter by the playlist traffic only. And that's really easy to see. It's this other listeners playlists. And what you'll see is that right here, it's a very similar graph because almost all of his streams came from that playlist. But here in the new normal category, you can see that this is, let's just say average, 10 streams a day, right? So the story here is that he was not on any playlists. He got a massive placement through us, a couple of them actually, and that traffic was being directed towards his songs. And then after he got off the massive placements that we got him, there's still like some residual additions because you'll see that throughout the campaign, he got an additional 3,200 playlist ads that were not our playlists, right? They were organic ads. So there's a little bit of residual, but that's not where most of his daily streams are coming from. Because remember, he's getting around 90 to 100 daily streams now in his new normal. So let's find where those are coming from. Let's check out his artist profile and catalog. Oh, and by the way, before I click that, the campaign ended on July 2nd. Okay, so earlier this month. So just keep that date in mind, July 2nd, because if I go to profile and catalog, you will see that after July 2nd, he still has a lot of residual activity on his profile, right? Not a ton, but he's getting 12 streams on this day, 9 streams on this day, 7 streams on this day. A huge difference from before where it was just 1 or 2. And so that's cool to note. Let's look at a more important category, listeners' own playlists and library. I always call this one the sticky fans category, right? Because if someone drags your song to their own playlist, which is what people did 3,200 times, or if they click the save button, which people did 623 times over the course of the campaign, right? That means they're going to potentially listen to the song again in their own library at a future time. So you can see that before the campaign, nobody had his song saved in their own library, right? He was getting 0 streams in this category. Nobody knew he existed. And then the campaign started, and this is what I like to see, a slow, gradual compounding in this category, in the green line, as the campaign goes on, right? And of course, the growth stops because the traffic source, the stream of traffic eventually ended because a campaign has a beginning and an end. But the good news is that after the campaign ended on July 2nd, which I have highlighted right here, you can see that day after day after day, now it's not always the same number, but he's getting 42, 44, 36, 38 streams from people returning to his music and streaming again, right? Because they weren't streaming before, but now in this category, in their own playlist, in their own library, that's these categories right here, saves and playlist ads, people are returning to listen to his music. So that's a really good result. Now, lastly, I want to show you another category in this source of streams. I want to see if he triggered any algorithms, right? Playlists are really good at helping with that because algorithms are based on data. And Spotify needs the data on your songs to know who to send your music to. What is the algorithmic match so that Spotify can recommend your music through its recommendation engine to new listeners, right? So I'm going to uncheck this. Here's the campaign. Remember, it ends on July 2nd. And let's turn on algorithmic playlists. And you can see he actually triggered an algorithm in a small way, but the first time ever for him, he triggered an algorithm in a small way in the middle of the campaign, and it's actually continuing afterwards. And he got basically an equal, slightly larger algorithmic push far after the playlist promotion campaign ended, right? Because it ended on July 2nd, and just a few days ago, July 19th, he got another 25 streams. Now, I know we're not talking about huge numbers, but remember, this is a brand new artist that did their very first promotional campaign ever, okay? And so I just wanted to show you how effective getting data on your songs really is. There's another type of algorithm that's not actually included in this source of streams, It's called the radio algorithm, and I will toggle that on as well as an overlay. And the crazy thing here is that the radio algorithm triggered immediately, like the same, maybe the next day after he got onto our playlist, the ones that we were pitching. The very next day, basically, he got on the radio algorithm. And they've been dancing sometimes higher, lower than the other algorithmic playlists. But the other thing to take home is that he got off the sponsored playlists on July 2nd, but his algorithmic traction is continuing almost exactly the same in both categories far after he was removed from the playlist. And that's awesome. So we can just go through the rest of the analytics really quick just to show you. One thing I always tell my clients, and this is when I usually recommend our Facebook ads service, playlists are never great at adding followers, okay? It's not good if it's an editorial playlist given to you by Spotify. It's not great for algorithmic playlists, and it's definitely not good when we pitch playlists. It's just the nature of playlists that you don't grow very many followers. Now he did, but it was only 5 followers. That's when another strategy that we can do for you comes into play, where we run Facebook ads to your Spotify profile, and that is very effective at growing followers. You'll get a lot less streams compared to playlists, so it just really tips the scales in a different way. And I have another video on this channel where I actually compare the difference between playlisting and Facebook ads, and in every category I rank them. So if you want to see those two traffic strategies side by side and see what categories they excel in, such as which will give me more followers, which will give me more streams, which will give me more streams per listeners, which will give me more saves, that video I will link somewhere on this video and of course in the description below. So that's what I always tell my clients. Playlists are not great for adding followers, but playlists are great for playlist ads and saves, okay? And he got a ton, right? You can see that the playlist ads are constant. As long as this traffic is up, he's getting added to playlists. And playlist ads are not from curators like what we secured, right? The traffic is from curators. What playlist ads really are fans dragging songs to their own catalog, like I mentioned earlier. So playlist ads and saves are just 2 ways to perform a similar action, right? People are saving your song to their own library, and they can either save it or they can drag it to their own playlist, saving it in a more organizational way. So you can see, as long as he's on the playlist, as long as the influencer marketing campaign is active, he's getting lots of ads, and he doesn't lose these once the campaign is over, right? All of these playlist ads are contributing to the increase in streams in this category, listeners' own playlist and library, right? So you can see they don't go away, even though it might look like they're going away. They're not. They are always there. It's just that he's not getting added at this high rate compared to when the traffic goes back down, right? We're in a period of high traffic, and then we're back into a period of low traffic. And that always happens in every business, in every industry, right? It's like toggling a Facebook ad on and off. When it's on, traffic is high. When it's off, you're kind of back to your organic roots, the new normal. And there are organic ripples from playlisting. I've been showing you that this whole video. But let's look at saves. Very similar story. More saves and higher frequency when that traffic source is active. And then he's still getting saves afterwards. This is probably from the algorithm. And he went from 0 saves every day to about 1, sometimes 0, sometimes 2, sometimes 4 saves every day that Spotify is giving him, right? So if you look at the dichotomy here, if you look at the before and after, one playlist promotion campaign went from Spotify never recommending him, people didn't know he existed, right? We did one influencer marketing campaign using Spotify playlists, and afterwards, Spotify does know more about his music, and it is recommending his music to people in a small way, and he is getting some lasting traction here. He's getting saves. He's getting playlist ads. Now, not as many as before, but this is a different story, right? And he's getting streams. I'll just leave it on this this view right here, because this is the full story. 0 to 1 streams every day, right? And sometimes 6, but that might just be my team listening to the song and preparing for his placement. That's probably what that is. So let's just say 1 to 0. After the campaign, it's a completely new normal. It's a completely different traffic situation, even when the traffic of the influencer has ended. So again, never ever claim someone else's traffic as your own, right? This playlist, you don't own it, I don't own it, right? It belongs to the influencer that we hire. But after the fact, after the campaign ends, you do own this, right? This is the algorithm that you are cultivating on Spotify, the recommendation engine that's going to share your music to new people. This is the new normal, and this is what I get so excited about, what you should get excited about too. So I hope this video is helpful, and I thought it was a really great opportunity to do a deep dive like this. If you want to learn more about how to read your metrics, check out this video where I cover all of the metrics in Spotify for Artists. If you're interested in trying anything I mentioned in this video, including starting a playlist promotion campaign of your own with my team, the exact team that put this together, then I'll leave a link in the description below. You can click the button, read about how we approach things, and it's different from other companies, right? So I really want you to check it out. And of course, you can sign up on that page too. It'll notify our whole team, and we'll get started promoting your music as well. And if you want to try that other campaign type, which is running Facebook and Instagram ads to your Spotify, which is the best at getting followers to your account, then I'll also leave a link in the description below where you can apply for our agency services. Now, this service is a lot more involved. We do video editing for you. We test a lot of different campaign options, targeting. It's a whole big push for your music that's a lot more involved, and there's a whole team that surrounds you as this campaign is active. So if you're interested in that, it's an application that I'll leave in the description below if you are interested in checking that out and having us run ads for your music. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in a future video.